So we're coming back into it. This is the, off the top of the head, like, hey, Nick, what are you thinking about? Let's see what you know, or don't know for that matter. But so today's is going to be about the money mindset of sacrifice. So for business, there's a lot that you have to sacrifice, whether it be, time with family or money, time with friends. A lot of it is just taking the time out of your day to make sure that you're successful and you're trying to make progress. One of the big things that people find themselves doing is saying, oh, I'm not making any progress, but I'm, throwing all my time in and all of the rest of it. But the thing is, though, is, your normal, 9 to 5, that's not as much time as people think that they actually need. So when you're creating a business, it's a 24/7, 365 days a year. This is like a genuine focus that people have to take their entire life on. And to make the progress that some people expect, like, oh, in the next 2 years, I want to have X amount of, retail locations. Okay, what is it going to take for you to get there? What are you going to have to sacrifice, or what are you willing to sacrifice in order to do that? Are you willing to put all your eggs in one basket and risk it all to do what you want to do? Most people don't want to. They want to stay in their, in their safety cushion, in their safety net, and kind of just throw a little bit of, throw an extra bit of change at it and let's see what it does. Except it won't work. You have to, dedicate, your time, your money, and just everything about yourself into that. Whether it means, you're at home, family's doing some stuff, like, hey, you ought to join us. No, sorry, I got to put on my headphones. I got to work on this. This needs to get done. Whether it be a business proposal or making sure that your products show up on time. It's the added stuff outside of your normal expectations that is what's really pushing a lot of people to actually be successful. So, for instance, when I was trying to work with a sunglass thing, if you guys don't know about that, hop back to the other video, you'll hear a little bit about that. Is, I had my schoolwork, I had friends and all that. But the thing is, though, is when I was trying to push that and actually make money, I had to sacrifice my time with friends. Obviously that went out the door. I love to talk to them during the day and stuff, but anything after the fact, like, oh, hey, Nick, you ought to go get some food with us, or hey, we're going to Six Flags, or hey, we're just gonna, kick it and stuff at, what's his face's house. I ended up giving up all that because I said, hey, sorry guys, I have some stuff I have to work on, and I'd be working on it all, quite a bit of the night. Obviously, I try to make time for my homework and stuff, and all the extra stuff that I had, whether it be Netflix or obviously the hanging with friends, that all went out the door. I focused so much on making sure that everything that I had was perfect and up to my expectations. And most people aren't actually willing to put up that idea or the effort in order to do so. And yet they still complain, oh, why am I not being successful? What are you willing to sacrifice to be successful? It's not going to just come because you're sitting down saying, oh, I want to be successful, or you like one of those, like today and you get $10,000 by tomorrow Instagram posts. It doesn't happen. There's a lot of work and time that has to be put into it. So for me, obviously, I'm 16. There's not a lot I can really sacrifice per se, except my time and my energy. But there's other people who are for what they're trying to do, whether it be trying to build a business back up, for the second or third time, or just building a business in general and the idea behind it. You have to be willing to, sacrifice, whether it be financially, sometimes even spiritually. Some people have to put aside their religion so that they can get what needs to be done. Granted, that's tough, and that's something that I'm not going to give, my recommendation on or my opinion on, because that's something that people need to figure out for themselves. But as far as sacrificing things, I've had friends sell their cars and just do everything that they can so that they can push it forward. A good friend of mine, he actually had, old school car. I love old school. And he sold it because he wanted to open up a business. I was like, are you crazy? You love that car, da, da, da. And he was just like, yeah, but I love the idea of making this business and I want it to work so badly. And I said, okay, what are you willing to sacrifice? And he said, I'm willing to sacrifice my car, my time, my energy. He basically was willing to give up everything for what he was trying to accomplish. At the time, he was trying to accomplish actually opening up an auto body shop, so that's why he was so willing to give up everything. Obviously excluding the things he would have needed for the auto body shop, but he was willing to put his heart and soul into that business. And that may be dangerous to some people because it doesn't always turn out the way you want it to. But the thing is, though, is, it comes with the whole entrepreneurialism mindset. if you're willing to push it balls to the walls, some people don't even know what that term means. So going to the full extent of what you can, one way or another, you're either going to gain a lot of experience out of it and maybe come at a deficit, but you'll have the experience, so you'll know the next time around what to do, what not to do, or you will be successful. You'll make it, and then from that point on, how much do you want to make it? How successful do you want to be? Are you wanting to do it so you can just kind of like pay off your bills, have a little bit of extra money on the side? Then so be it. Set your time accordingly so you can get that. But if you want to push it so that you only have to work for another year or two and you can retire after that, then get ready to buckle up and put all your time in. Like, this is the sacrifice that it takes. Some people give up their families for it, and some people have to walk away from their families so that they can actually be successful. It all comes down to that. Kind of off the cut and kind of just relax, so I'm not going to worry about editing that out. So have fun with a really weird and bad cough. But yeah, so sacrifice, and obviously that's one of the big things. Another big thing is the mentality that you have to have about it is not being soft. And that may sound bad in a sense like, oh well, it's about compassion and kindness and helping out your fellow person. But the thing is when it comes to business, there's a big focus on, all right, what can I get out of you before I decide to burn the bridge with you? And sometimes that's what it takes. You have to get what's yours, and actually have your goals set in mind rather than trying to help other people out. This is more of a in-depth on my family type of side of it. There's been times where we've lent out money to either help friends or companies or whatever it may be, and the amount of times that we've been burned is just ridiculous. I can't even count how many times it's been. But the big thing is all the people that you have around you, they're there when they have money or they're able to get something out of you. Watch how many people walk away from you when you don't have the money that's surrounding you or the benefits that they get out of it by being friends with you. That's one of the big things. So it's having the mindset that, everyone's kind of out to screw you may sound paranoid, it may sound unrealistic, but the thing is in the idea in context of business, everyone's trying to do that. Everyone's trying to make as much money as they can before their time's done. Whether it be, they pass away or they're just trying to retire. You want to make as much money as you can, and this sounds bad because it goes against a lot of people's religion and kindness and compassion and mercy. But the thing is business is ruthless. This is what it takes in order to be successful. So you have your sacrifice and you just have the unrelenting want to progress. This cough is bad. It's tough. But yeah, so it's all right, as far as a contextual, let's say, high school, that's one of the big things I can actually push my experience on because, hey, I'm actually in it. Funny enough. So one of the big things is as far as, all right, let's say a group project where you're actually working towards an end goal. Each one of you have an end goal to do well in the class and on the project. And, little Jimmy over here isn't doing his part and he wants help. But, big Jimmy over here doesn't want to give him his help because he knows how little Jimmy's going to be when it comes down to actually saying who did what. He's going to say he did all of it without any help. That's kind of how it is in business. People don't want to give credit for something that they didn't even do. They want to take as much as they can. And it makes sense because everyone's trying to reach that end goal as quickly as possible. But the thing is, that's what it takes. Mentally, physically, and, spiritually, if you want to put it up at that point. But that one's a little more tough purely for the fact that, it all depends on what you believe in, and it's not really my place to criticize what you guys are doing. But yeah, one of the big things is just focus on, what your end goal is, what are you willing to sacrifice, and ultimately, what is the mindset you're going to go in with saying, I'm going to get to, my end goal as quickly as I can, and I don't care what's going to take it to get there. So that's about it. I know I'm going to keep going with these, off the head type deals, and, if you guys like them, let me know. If not, just say, hey, I'm not really feeling these, go a little bit more scripted, a little bit more specific on a topic, because I'm cool with going back to that and stuff. These are more just hey, what's on the top of your head, Nick? Let's figure that out. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day. Bye.